called me just now and he said, Bernard, tell him this. Don't say shit else but this. I done did everything they asked me to do. The ball is in their court. What's taking them so long?
Terence Crawford releases a statement through his team and says, I agreed to all of the BS that Errol Spence and his team wanted, but now he still hasn't signed the contract. I'm waiting on Errol Spence to sign the contract. I've already done my part. Now, I'm going to talk about everything that he said, and we're going to get into it. But before we do that, make sure that y'all hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. What's happening with it, y'all? Now, it looks like we finally going to get the fight that everybody been waiting for years and years. Terence Bud Crawford, he spoke on the situation, and it is true. He's saying that he signed the contract. He signed for everything that Errol Spence's team wanted, right? And I'm going to get into the details and everything, per Terence Crawford and his team. And like I said, this is what Terence Crawford is saying. I don't know what's going on, but this is the words that Terence Crawford released through his team. So he's saying that he signed the contract, right? He's saying that they tried to basically mess him over. They tried to hand him a slave contract. They tried to do everything they could so he wouldn't sign, but he called a bluff and he signed and he agreed to everything that they wanted. He says now all he wants to do is put hands on Errol Spence. Now, per Terence Crawford, he's saying he signed, he agreed to a 65-35 split. He's also saying that he's not getting any guaranteed money. And he's saying that in the rematch, if they do have a rematch, he's also going to be the B-side in the rematch. Now, do I believe all of this? No, because I know how Terence Crawford works. And Terence Crawford ain't going to agree to all of that, especially in the rematch. He's not going to agree to take the same deal or still take less if he wins the fight. Now, I can see if he loses the fight and has to go and get a rematch that he's going to be the B-side. But like I said, this is his truth. This is what he's telling. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from Errol Spence's side. So on his part, yes, it is true. He's saying that he's come out and he signed everything. Now, also what they're saying is he's saying that Errol Spence still hasn't signed. Errol Spence still hasn't done his part, and the ball is in Errol Spence's court to sign the contract. Now, what I'm going to do is I ain't going to waste no time. I'm going to play y'all some of what his team said, right, through Terence Crawford, and then we're going to get back and we're going to cook on the situation.
He called me just now and he said, Bernard, tell him this. Don't say shit else but this. I done did everything they asked me to do. The ball is in their court. What's taking them so long? What's taking them so long? Y'all know this shit ain't happened yesterday. You understand? This shit that's coming out, this shit didn't happen yesterday. This shit been going on for how long? Can't tell you how long it been, but they been had the ball in their court. Now I can say that.
Now, what y'all heard right there is Terence Crawford's assistant trainer, one of his assistant trainers, and his childhood friend, Bernie, is saying that Terence Crawford called him up on the phone and said, this is what I want you to let the people know. First of all, I've signed the contract. I've done everything that they wanted me to do. Now, I'm waiting on Errol Spence. And matter of fact, I've been signed the contract. This didn't just happen yesterday. It didn't just happen recently. I've been waiting. The ball been in their court. This is what they're saying on their end. But see, when you hear the PBC come out and Steven Espinoza, they're telling you that it's Terence Crawford, that they've been trying to work out a deal, and he's basically saying that it's not enough money on the table. That's what we have been hearing. So you got one side saying one thing, and you got the other side saying a whole different thing, right? And now they're claiming that Errol Spence is the holdup, that Errol Spence still hasn't signed his portion of the contract. Now, I find that very hard to believe if it's Errol Spence that's the holdup and he hasn't signed his portion of the contract, because he works with PBC. You know what I'm saying? He is the one that does all his business with PBC. We've never heard Errol Spence having a problem with the business that he's been doing with Al Heyman and PBC. We've never heard PBC come out and said that Errol Spence was hard to work with. But what we have heard, we've heard Bob Arum, Terence Crawford's former promoter, come out and say that he's very hard to work with. He's very hard to get a deal done with. So, if you go by past experiences, the fingers will point at Bud, the reason that this fight was a holdup. But like I said, I'm not in the negotiating room with neither one of them. I'm just telling y'all what we've seen in the past and who you will believe on past experiences, right? But I can't sit here and call Bud Crawford and his team liars because we still haven't heard from Errol Spence and his team. We haven't heard his side. So you can't call Bud Crawford and his team liars because we only heard one side of the story, and that was his side of the story so far. But also, they said more. They talked about the split in the rematch clause. So I'm going to go ahead and play that, and then I'm going to get back and I'm going to cook on that.
This fella got a lot of heart and a tremendous lot of talent and a lot of self-belief in himself. Thus, we taking then what the man said. I can't say, but I'm just going off what they say. What he said, 35%. The man said 35% with no guarantee, and we gonna be B-side in the second time. Oh my God! Oh my God! You talking about somebody that want to fight? You talking about somebody that want to whoop somebody's ass? Well, don't look no further than Bud Crawford, because that's exactly what he's telling you.
So there y'all hear it. He called his partner up and told him, hey, let the world know I'm taking a 65-35% split, and I'm not getting no money up front, so it's all back end money. And on top of that, I'm getting the B side in the rematch. When we have a rematch, I'm gonna have to take the B side. Now, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's not crazy the 65-35 split, because if you look at the body of work, and you look at Errol Spence having 3 titles, you look at Terence Crawford only having 1 title, and you look at all of the pay-per-view sales that Errol Spence has done, and then you look at the pay-per-views that Terence Crawford has done, they don't compare. So 65-35 split, that's more than fair to me. That's more than fair to me. But like I said, I don't care what now one of these dudes is making, because I'm not getting no money off of it. But that's more than fair if you go down the line of the body of work and who has the titles and who's done the bigger pay-per-view numbers and who's put more asses in the seats. That's more than fair. But to say that, okay, I'm getting the B side even if I do win the fight, I can't believe that. Because to me, that's not fair. That ain't fair if you go and beat somebody and you still have to take the B side in the rematch. I'm not feeling that. And that's hard for me to believe. That's hard for me to believe that Terence Crawford would even accept something like that. And then to say that, oh, well, I accepted a deal to where I'm not even getting no guaranteed money. How are you accepting a deal the way you're not getting no guaranteed money, where the whole time we was hearing your people say and everybody else say, right, that was on the inside, that the whole holdup is that they were offering you guaranteed money, but you wanted a lot more guaranteed money. So it's very hard for me to believe, right, that you'll come down off of everything that you was asking for, right? Turn down what they was trying to give you, and then come back and take less than even what they were trying to give you in the first place. I can't believe that. That's just hard for me to believe. It sounds good on your part. It makes it sound like that he just that hungry and that thirsty to put hands on Errol Spence, because that's also what he said, is that he don't care about the money. He don't care about none of that. He just wants to put hands on Errol Spence now. So he wants Errol Spence to sign that contract so he could beat him down. This is what he's telling his team member. But like I said, how can I believe when the whole holdup, right? And you even admitted, you went on Sean Porter podcast, and Sean Porter says, yeah, you know what I'm saying, you should be demanding more money. They're going to get it right. And you sat there and you didn't deny it. You didn't deny that you was asking for more money, right? And now I'm going to believe that you come back and you take a lesser percentage than Steven Espinoza said that they were going to give you, because when Steven Espinoza came out and he talked about the holdup, he said, look, this fight is going to be closer to 50-50. It's going to be very close to 50-50. Now, 65-35 is not close to 50-50. Also, the guaranteed money, right? You agreed with Sean Porter. You didn't deny it. And now you're telling me that you accepted no guaranteed money up front at all? I can't believe that. You know what I'm saying? It sounds good for a story to make you look like the boogeyman, to make you look like that Errol Spence didn't really want to fight. He was just bluffing you. They were just trying to give you a contract that they knew you wouldn't sign, and then you called they bluff and you signed it anyway. That all sounds great, but it's very hard for me to believe that you would accept a deal like that. And if you did, salute to you. That's some real dog type shit. But I can't believe that. You know what I'm talking about? I can't believe that. And then also saying that the holdup is on Errol Spence. Y'all been waiting around for Errol Spence to sign his portion of the contract. I can't believe that neither. You know why? Because Errol Spence is the one that's been pushing for this fight. Errol Spence has been the one that come out on social media a long time ago and said, sign the contract. What's the problem, bud? I signed my portion. We waiting on you. Right? Now all of a sudden the holdup is on him when he works directly with Al Haymon and PBC. I'm pretty sure PBC would have came out and, alluded to the fact that, hey, everything's done on Terence Crawford's end. We just got some things to handle on our end. But they've never done that. It's been the other way around. So, like I said, if it is Errol Spence, y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. I guarantee you he gonna sign his portion on the contract, because, like I said, when you look at the landscape and how everything's been going down, he is the one that's been pushing for this fight. He is the one that's been calling out Bud Crawford, making t-shirts and doing everything. So, yeah, we gonna get this fight. It's going down for sure. And another thing that Terence Crawford team member Bernie had alluded to, he had alluded to the fight actually taking place in Alliance Stadium. That's the Raiders Stadium, And if it takes place in Raiders Stadium, that's a big plus for the fans, because a lot more fans are going to be able to attend, and the fight is going to be a lot less expensive to attend, because if you could fit more people in the stadium, then they could, they could take the ticket prices down some. So everybody better cross their finger that wants to go to this fight, that it does take place in Alliance Stadium. And he made a point that weekend of November the 19th, that the Raiders are not going to be playing in that stadium. The Raiders are going to be out of town that weekend. So the fight can take place in Alliance Stadium. So that's very good news. And like I said, if Terence Crawford has signed the contract, that's great news, because that means that we are getting this fight. So this is the message that Terence Crawford wanted to relay to the fans, that I've signed. I agreed to everything that they wanted me to agree to, and they tried to give me a slave deal, but I called their bluff and I still agreed to it and signed the contract. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, if you want to keep up on all of the hot topics and the breaking news that's coming out in the boxing world. There you go, talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.